you feeling guilty? Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling slightly dirty? Are you feeling a little overwhelmed? If so, you are probably a mother. We've got the author of Balance the Mother Load, Carly Cooper, here. It's so funny. We were just talking about these beautiful destination weddings where you can have this wonderful relaxed time getting married with your life partner, and then a couple of years later you have a kid and your life changes, and you'll never have a vacation like that ever again, right?
Well, not unless you demand it and you take it.
Well, so tell me why you decided to write this book.
Well, my son is now 5.5, but I was the target market for this book. You know, it took a while for me to get pregnant, and when I finally did and my son arrived, I was wanting to be there for him. I wanted to do everything, every feed, every diaper change, because I just appreciated him. And that quickly wore off. I still appreciate him, but you know, it caught up. I was tired, overwhelmed, I felt guilty. I completely lost myself. And you know, I'm a self-proclaimed self-help junkie, so I was able to read a ton of books and put all that into action and get myself out of that rut. And I saw that a lot of moms were the same. And so this was sort of a labor of love, no pun intended, and you know, something that I needed and I did to get myself out of the rut, and I wanted to help other moms do the same.
Because they're having the same feelings, but they don't know how.
Well, and they're not necessarily talking about it, right? I was very happy to discuss this and share it, and you know, I'm also a life coach for moms, so I find that the moms that are ready to talk about it, it's like, open up the floodgates and let's talk. But it sometimes takes time to admit that, because we don't want to admit that we can't do something, or that something's overwhelming, or something's hard. Especially because we used to have it all together before we were moms. So now, what's wrong with us?
Well, I remember sitting, you know, getting together with women, and they're talking about all the baby food that they're making, and I would just sit quietly, drinking my coffee.
Are you sure it was coffee?
Yeah. Because I didn't want to admit, oh, I'm not making my own organic baby food. I must be a terrible mom. Or using cloth diapers, or all of those, you know, I was taking shortcuts and feeling really guilty about it. Guilt is a big issue, right?
It's huge. It's a whole chapter. It's a whole chapter. And you know, what I always find really funny is that moms make all this effort to make their own baby food, to do the cloth diapers, to go the extra mile for their kids, and they're eating a muffin if they have time, right? So it's about taking care of yourself first. And I know that that's difficult, and a lot of moms fight me on it, and they say, well, that's being so selfish. How can I possibly do that? And this book is about changing that perception that a good mom puts herself last. Really, what I have learned, and I preach, to whoever's listening, is that a good mom puts herself first, so she has the energy and the strength and the sanity to take care of everybody else. Yes. So it's not about being selfish. It's about, it's a necessity. It's almost selfish not to.
So that you can be available.
So you have more to give.
It's so true. It's so true. You've created the Reinvent System. Every letter stands for something.
Yes,
Tell me about that.
It is an acronym. So, I find that, again, we were independent, ambitious women before we had kids, and then we think that we'll just pick up right where we left off. And
somehow the baby will just fit in.
It's an accessory.
Yeah.
It's a tote. And it's not the case for everybody. For some, it is. I don't talk to those women. But so the Reinvent is not about being who you used to be, and it's not about being somebody else. It's about reinventing who you are. And so, each step stands for something. And so the R, I have to look at it so I remember. So the R is redefine motherhood. The E is envision your ideal life, improve your relationships, nurture yourself, vanquish mommy guilt. Where am I? E, expectation overhaul, nix negativity now, and time management tune-up. So these were sort of the 8 hot topics that, after being that mom myself and talking to a lot of moms, these were sort of the big ones that kept coming up. How do I get rid of guilt, and how do I stop trying to be perfect, or even realizing that I'm trying to be perfect. And
what is perfect anyway?
It doesn't
really
exist.
No.
But we're constantly striving for that.
You've got exercises that women can do
Yes.
in the book. You've got contracts that they can fill out. Why are those important, these exercises and contracts?
Well, it's really about being accountable and thinking about your life again. So there's questions in there, there's exercises that are going to get you to think about your life and to at least to just pay attention, you know, to really clue in, where am I now, what's going on, what's working, what's not working, and instead of just commiserating about it, right, with our girlfriends or our moms or whoever will listen, it's about knowing where you are and knowing how to change that and making some change, even if it's just a minor one or it's a tweak or it's just saying, oh, this is what I'm doing and it's no longer working for me. How do I move forward? So this book gets you to think about what's going on and asks you the questions and gets you to do the exercises to help you move forward.
Do you have to do them in order? Is it important to go from start to finish?
I recommend it, but you know, not every chapter is going to apply to everybody. You know, you may be in a wonderful, supportive, nurturing relationship. I say don't change things. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But it might still get you to improve things, you know, to say, okay, my relationship is great, but you know what? Yeah, I like the idea of doing a date night every month or every week if you can. So it's about tweaking what might be great and making it even better.
We can learn from the men in our lives, can't we? Because, you know, my husband had no trouble saying, all right, I'm going to go for a run.
Yeah.
You know, he knew he needed that,
Yeah.
so off he went, and I'm going like, I wouldn't.
If only.
If I asked to go to a yoga class, I'd feel like I was somehow burdening him with this.
Well, the difference is that men aren't wired the same way, which we know, but they don't have guilt. They don't feel that. They're kind of, you know, that's one reason why we might resent them. But that's on us. That's not on them, right? And so it's really, you know, a lot of women are looking to other people. Well, I have kids and I'm so busy, and we blame the kids and we blame the routine and we blame the husbands and all of that. But we have to look at ourselves and say, okay, I'm not asking for help. I am putting this guilt on myself. It's unjustified. So this book is really going to get you to look inside, and it's about changing yourself, because really that's all you can change is yourself. Not from the lack of trying to change other people, but we can really only change ourselves.
And once we do start asking other people to pitch in, they're actually quite happy to do it.
How good does it feel when somebody asks you for help and you're able to help them?
You feel needed and wanted.
Right. And so by refusing to ask for help, we deprive other people of that feeling. And we think we're being a burden. And I think for most women, it's about the idea of, oh, well, that's going to make me look weak, that I can't do it. And I always say to my clients, it's not about you can't do it. It's you're choosing not to.
Love it. Get the book, read it, change your life, balance the mother load. So balance-the-mother-load.com.
Or you can do balance the mother load and it'll come up, because
You'll find it. And now here's one of our volunteers, Lorraine, with your community events calendar. Love it.
Hi, I'm Lorraine, and here are your community event listings. Martinis with Men presents a girls' night out and how to get what you want from your man. Woo! This is a fun girls' night out for women who are interested in learning more about men from men. The evening will be hosted by relationship guru Gary Wilson with special guest Kevin Broch. For more information, click on eligiblesocialclub.com. See Francophone cinema from around the world. Cine Franco will be at the TIFF Lightbox until April 1st. Celebrate and enjoy a great program of international Francophone films. Head to cinefranco.com for a full schedule of screenings. Rachel Gottlieb, Ceramics by Design, is tonight at the Gardner Museum of Ceramic Art. The curator will talk about the important role of the designer in historical and contemporary ceramics. Visit gardnermuseum.on.ca for details. And there you are, community events for Tuesday, March 27th. Now back to you guys.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Wow, that was a great job. I don't feel guilt.
Funny that.
I do. I should have Catholic guilt.
Well, tomorrow, how about this? The author of Why Men Lie.
Blah, blah, blah. We also have Cooking with Nutritionist Judy Scott
Yay.
Weldon.
Love her. All about the musical I Love You Because.
I love you because, and I love you, so see you tomorrow.
Oh, and we're going to get ready for Easter, too.
Yay.
Easter bunny's coming.